What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Sultai Death Shadow. Yes, indeed. Hope you're ready to get your Death Shadows up and running. Oh, yeah. Had a lot of fun playing this deck. Always enjoy playing Sultai decks. But yeah, let's start off with the name of the deck itself. Death Shadow. If you're not familiar with Death Shadow, it is a 13/13, but it also gets -X, -X, where X is your life total. So, basically, if you're going to be playing some sort of Death Shadow deck, what you're doing is you're building a deck that's going to be really painful on your life total. So we're running a lot of shocks, we're running a lot of fetches, running Thought Seizes in here to get our life total down. And we're also running Dismember. So basically the game plan is to get down, or at least get into the safe zone of where you can get down Death Shadow, and then slowly, incrementally make those Death Shadows bigger and bigger and bigger and kind of go from there. Now, with us running Sultai, we're not running Grixis in here, we're not running red. One of the things that we are splashing green for would be Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf fits in really well with this deck. It's a great 2-drop to kind of get that down, really apply some pressure to your opponent. And then also, since we're doing a lot of milling, and not necessarily milling, but a lot of putting a lot of cards on graveyard to kind of fuel for our delve creature cards, it just works really well with Tarmogoyf. Now there will be some instances where you need to delve away your entire graveyard to get something like Hooting Mandrills or Gurmag Angler out there for your, and you're going to kind of blank out your Tarmogoyf. But this deck can fill its graveyard so quickly that it's really, you know, there's just going to be a couple turns maybe where you're going to be at a disadvantage. But for the most part, we're running green in here for Tarmogoyf, and it's great in the deck. You can really apply some pressure. Outside of the other green card, we're running Hooting Mandrills, Delve, and Trample. So, why not run Gurmag Angler instead? Hooting Mandrills has Trample. So, and the main thing for that is running Varolz in here too. Each creature card in the graveyard has Scavenge. The Scavenge cost is equal to its converted mana cost. So, if you're not familiar with Scavenge is, let's say something happens to one of our creatures. Let's say that Snapcaster dies. Snapcaster is a 2-drop, it's a 2/1. So we can Scavenge Snapcaster, we can take his little armor and stuff like that and put it onto one of our other creatures and give that creature 2+1 counters. Now, with the Scavenge ability and Varolz on the battlefield, we have Death Shadow. So for 1 mana, you can put 13 counters on another creature, which, if you're keeping track at home, Hooting Mandrills does have Trample, so if you put 13 counters on there, that'll be a nice little 17/17 swinging across with Trample, which will be enough to kind of help close the game out. Now, this interaction is really cute, and it's kind of more geared towards like Johnny players, or, you know, if we can do it, we can do it. So if you're a little bit more of a heavier tournament player, you may want to back off the rolls in the deck, maybe go a little bit more removal, but you're going to win games like this. You will win some games where you scavenge a Death Shadow onto Hooting Mandrills, just because, let's say you can't get your life total down. You're sitting at 14 Death Shadow, you can't get it out just yet, but you do have Varolz on the battlefield and Hooting Mandrills, so you can simply just cast Death Shadow. It's going to die because it has the, you know, see, you're at 14 life, it's going to get -1/-1, it's going to die, and so you can just immediately scavenge it and put it on Hooting Mandrills and just swing in and hope they don't have any spot removal. And that is one thing, you know, you're putting 13 counters on one creature, you do have to watch out for spot removal, but you know, miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and it's pretty fun to win it out that way. But yeah, that's why we're going Sultai with this, so we can go Tarmogoyf, Hooting Mandrills. The other card that we're running in here for green is going to, you know, Abrupt Decay is always great, but the main thing is Grizzly Salvage. This is a great card for the deck. Really, top 5 cards of your library, you may put a creature card or land card among them into your hand, put the rest into your graveyard. So the good thing about Grizzly Salvage is it's a May ability. So now if you need to throw a bunch of cards into the graveyard for delve next turn, you can simply just cast Grizzly Salvage and throw all 5 in the graveyard. Or there was a couple times when I'm playing that we needed just a fetch land to simply just we were sitting right at 13 life and we just need one fetch land to get down Crack, Shock, and get down Death Shadow. And Grizzly Salvage allows you to instant speed, just look at the top 5 cards of your library and grab it. Or if you're just trying to dig for a delve creature to delve some stuff away, really good card for the deck. I absolutely love Grizzly Salvage. It's one of my favorite Magic cards. So just if I can find an excuse to put in any modern deck, I will, because it's just, I don't know, I love it. It's a great utility card. So, outside of that, we covered Death Shadow, the Thought Seizes to get our life down, running just simple removal stuff, Fatal Push, Stubborn Denial. Once we get our, you know, once we start getting into our Delve creature, Stubborn Denial is online already, so with the Hooting Mandrills and the Tassigers and the Gurmag Angler, so it'll be online for the Stubborn Denial. And then Vapor Snag. Vapor Snag's a really good way for us to, we don't have access to Lightning Bolt, we can't really remove creatures at spot instant speed, so Vapor Snag's a good way for us to, let's say there's just one problem creature out there, the board's kind of a little bit hard for us to kind of swing through. Vapor Snag allows us to make them lose 1 life, return it to their hand, and kind of push in on a nice little Hooting Mandrills or something like that. Also running Liliana of the Last Hope. She keeps on theme with, because you know, I would almost call this deck Sultai Death Shadow, but it's almost kind of like Sultai Delve in a way, in that we're just really utilizing the graveyard. So we're running Liliana, the Last Hope. We're going to use her -2, -1 ability when we can, but for the most part, using the -2 ability, put the top 2 cards in your library. It's a good way for us to get our graveyard going, and if we need to return some, like, you know, a Snapcaster back to the hand or something, we can go that with Liliana. But I think that's the deck in a nutshell. You know, we have 3 copies of Snapcasters, a little bit of just, you know, value play once we're going for stuff like Grizzly Salvage. Obviously, there's going to be some times where you whiff on a Dismember or something like that, or a Fatal Push off Grizzly Salvage, so it's good to have Snapcaster to kind of smooth out those Grizzly Salvages. Now, as far as the sideboard goes, this is going to be completely dependent on your meta. You know, adjust it however you want. But we're running 2 Ceremonious Rejections for the Tron matchup, or the Eldrazi Tron. 2 Dispels. I always like running Dispels in any sort of blue deck that I'm running, just in case we run into the counter magic. 1 more Stubborn Denial, 3 Nature's Claim, Trick Bind. Absolutely love Trick Bind. I think it's great in a deck like this, and in fact, you could almost make room for it main phase. Trick Bind catches a lot of stuff. You know, they go for an activation off their fetch land. You can counter that one, or any sort of Planeswalker ability. I love this card for Modern, and I think it should be played more, especially in sideboards. It just catches a lot of stuff, you know, especially when you're playing against Eldrazi Tron, and they go for the Expedition map. You can just Trick Bind their Expedition map activation. So, love Trick Bind. Go for the Throat, double Scavenging Ooze, kind of competes against Death Shadow, but we're not 100% all in Death Shadow. You know, we're going Delve, we're going other creatures like that, and if we do kind of gain a little bit of life off the Scavenging Ooze, exiling our opponent's creatures, you know, we can always kind of offset that by shocking our life total back down. So, also go Gary Charm and then double Maelstrom Pulse. So, that's the deck in a nutshell. I have some gameplay videos for you that just got posted up, so head on over there and watch them out if you want to check them out. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.